Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope everyone's doing okay at home. I hope everyone's staying busy creating and drawing at home. For today's video, I was going to show you about the art of animation in its simplest form. We've done something like this in my classes before. You might remember doing this. I was going to teach you how to make a flip book. Flip books are really fun. They're really easy to get started. What you'll need to do is look around your house to try to find a book to use. So here's a couple of good options. You probably have one of these in your house right now. So the first one is this. It's a stack of Post-it notes. This will work really, really well to create a flip book. If the paper is a little bit thinner, you can kind of see through it. It's a nice option. If you don't have any Post-it notes, look for any kind of notebook. It could be a notebook from school, a notebook that you already used, has writing in it. This is a good option too. Again, the paper's a little bit on the thinner side, so you can sort of see through it a little bit. Another good option is one of my sketchbooks that I gave you. Even if you've already drawn in it, that's okay. This is another good option. You can make a flip book in here on the edges, or any old book in the house that no one's reading anymore. We're not going to destroy the book, but you can make a flip book on the edges of these pages. So any one of those options are great and they'll work. And let me show you how to do it. All right, so here's the Post-it notes. And to make a simple flip book, what you want to do is you want to actually start all the way in the back. This is an easy way to get started. And I'll keep it simple. I'm going to go to the last page and I'm going to draw a circle. Real easy. And now I'm going to take this next page and I'm going to flip it down. And if you look closely, you can see that ball that I drew. So I'm going to draw the ball again, but this time I'm not going to draw it in the exact same spot. I'm going to change where it goes just a little bit. I'm going to draw it again, but I moved it just a little tiny bit. And now I'm just going to repeat that process. Here's the ball. I'm just going to draw it slightly more to the left of the ball. So I'm just going to repeat that process over and over. Flip the page down. See the ball that you just drew. And then draw one slightly to the left, or slightly under it. It just changes position a little bit each time. So as you're watching this video, you're going to see the ball as I'm drawing it. I'm going to keep drawing it further and further down on the edge of this page. Make sure you're only going one page at a time. And here we go. So now I've drawn the ball, I'm not sure, about maybe 30 times. And when I go to flip this book now, you're going to see all those drawings in a matter of seconds. There it goes. Now the ball that I drew, it moves across the edge of the page. It's simple, but it works, and it's the basic process of how all animation and all film works. You're not really seeing something move when you're watching a TV or a screen. You're actually seeing still photographs, just hundreds of them per second sometimes. Now this ball that I drew here, it's pretty simple, it's basic, it works, but once you learn the basics of it, now I can change this ball into something else, or I can add another ball to it, or I can make a drawing of a stick person, or a drawing of triangles, or whatever you can think of. Now you can start to take this from this level up to another level. So this is the end of part 1 of the video. You could stop here, or you can continue on and watch the rest of the video. It'll be a little bit more challenging, but if you're up for it, try it out. So here's another flip book I made pretty quickly. This is with the notebook. This time, instead of drawing a circle over and over again, I just made it a little bit more interesting. This time, for all these drawings you're going to see, I made a mouse. So I kept it really simple because I was going to draw it over and over again. And I got better at doing it with each frame that I did. So here's my little mouse. That's it. So I started all the way in the back again. There's the mouse there to start off, right? And just to make it more interesting than the dot, I kind of didn't even have a plan. I just sort of started making it. So once you're finished making the ball and you're able to flip it like this, you can now take the ball and sort of make it a little bit more interesting. You know, you can keep it into a ball, maybe change it into a baseball, and then have a batter over here, or a softball. You can change it into a basketball, and it goes through a basketball hoop. It could be a soccer ball heading towards a goal. You could change it to a football and have it look like a football going from one end to the other. Or something else that has circles in it, like a bicycle or a car, or whatever you can think of. You can change this. You could also, you could add a second ball to it that sort of chases it or goes around it. You could change it into a square. You could add, well, really whatever you can think of. Once you get the basics done, I'm going to take mine and I'm going to change it into a car that runs from one end to the other. So what I just created here, that's going to be like the hubcap of my car. So what I did was I took one page off the top. This could be a scrap piece of paper. It doesn't have to be from your flip book. So it could be like a piece of loose leaf paper, something thin that you can sort of see through a little bit. So I'm going to take the edge of this. I'm going to go to just one of these spots in the middle here. And I'm just going to trace this. This is so I don't have to draw this car over and over again. So my first step is just tracing one of the circles. And now that I have that circle drawn, I'm going to change the circle into a car. Like I said, I'm going to make that the hubcap of the car. So now that I have this car drawn, I'm going to make it just a little bit darker. I'm going to press around the outside of it really hard so I can see through it really easily. And this will become a template for me, so I can now just trace over it in my flip book. So here I'm going to take this. By the way, this is a 1971 Corvette, if you're a car fanatic out there. So here's my flip book. I'm going to take this, take the car, put it right under here, pull that back. Now I can just trace the outline of the car. As I flip it down, I'm just going to repeat that process. Okay, so I finally finished drawing and tracing this over and over again. You saw in the video the pad started falling apart, so I found a big paper clip to help hold this all together. A nice fat rubber band could help too, to hold these pages together if you're using Post-its. So here it is, all my hard work for the last about an hour. There it goes. So if I want to spend more time on it, you know, I can draw, I can add color to the car, I can put a roadway around it for each scene, another car behind it. Lots of possibilities. And if you do it like this, you can have the car back up in reverse. So there's lots of ways of doing flip books. This is just one way. So have fun working on these at home. Do your best. I would love to see them. Turning it in is a little bit trickier this week because it's a video. So if you're using Seesaw in grades K1 or 2, there's actually an option to send in a video right from your laptop. So you can try to do it there. Keep it short. Make sure that your book has light on it. That will help. If you're in grades 3, 4, and 5, you can't get a video directly into Google Classroom. You have to video it first and then attach it as a file into Google Classroom. So if you're using a phone, you'd have to go through the app then to load it up, or you can record it on your laptop and then send it as an attachment to Google Classroom. A lot of you in grades 3, 4, and 5, you have my Seesaw class from last year. You could send me a short video there. That works. Or you can also send a short video of your book over my email too, if that works. So just have fun. I would love to see them, but if you can't do it, that's fine too.